Oh, Russell Westbrook. Like every big name Lakers star there has been in the last 20 years, he's going to be the center of many trade talks. He's trade chip of the next offseason, the biggest name, okay? The problem is, and this is the Ben Simmons problem, his stock is too low and his contract's too big. We know this, right? It becomes impossible to move a player, of his stature, but maybe not for long. The Houston Rockets are trying to solve the Lakers' problem, right? We have a report that came in that expresses the Houston Rockets actually are the front runners, but not even the front runners. They already have provided an offer. They've beat everybody. I mean, they're the only ones in this race, but they've provided an offer for Russell Westbrook. Okay, these things are moving. According to Sport Track, the Rockets want these nifty draft picks for the Lakers. Now, these little birdies, they've been discussing this for a little while now. Since February, that's right, February, the Rockets wanted a piece of Westbrook. Okay, well, what they wanted was the draft picks, right? Those draft picks are valuable, especially to a team like Rockets. But nothing was done. The Lakers wrote it out, passed the deadline, and endured one of the worst seasons in Lakers history, right? From championship expectations to 33 wins. Okay. Now they want to. Oh, they're dying to swing for the fences and get rid of Westbrook, but they can't because LeBron James will leave sooner than the 2027 first round pick that they're going to give up. Okay. But they want to. Oh, they want to because you cannot win an NBA championship with Westbrook. We know with Westbrook playing that many minutes. I mean, there's no revelation coming in his brain. He's not going to change anyway. Westbrook's the guy. I mean, at this point of his career, he cannot contribute to a winning team of basketball. That is the fact. You can't just say, "Oh, well, I mean, maybe if he stopped shooting, and maybe if he embraced a really defensive role, and maybe if he came off the bench." No, that's not how things work. You can't just say if this happens when there's over a decade of history saying no. The guy's not going to change. He's made no inclination that he's going to change, even that he wants to. If you put Bill Russell's brain in Dwight Howard, I believe to this day Dwight Howard would still be dominating. He would still dominate today with Bill Russell's brain. People are who they are. Okay, and Westbrook is not a winning player. 295 turnovers, 188 jumpers. Not a winning player. Okay, that's what they're dealing with. After watching Westbrook's exit interview, you can't possibly think this guy's ever gonna figure it out. Ever. I mean, it's delusional. It really saying that people create narratives of him, just create it out of thin air. When people were calling him Westbrook, I mean, it shows so little self awareness. To claim that the coach, he just had a problem with you. No reason why a defensive coach had a problem with a point guard that loses his man and plays really bad, poor help defense and takes such bad shots that the ball bounces off the rim, right into the opponent's hand, and they run up the floor for an easy transition basket before the defense can set. Yeah, I don't know, Westbrook. I mean, those things, what he does, those horrible misses, they're turnovers to add on to the already four natural turnovers he gets a game. So I don't know why Frank Vogel would be mad at you this season. No idea. Maybe he has a vendetta, okay? You know that expression, one man's trash is another man's treasure? Well, two men's trash can be a lot more fresher, right? Both plays, you can't move. They're unmovable. They're stuck, okay? This is the only cards on the table. The only play left. If the Lakers do pull this trigger, that means they are confident, and they shouldn't take him at his word, but they are confident that LeBron James, he's coming back. He's going to stay. Because if you give up on that first round pick and LeBron leaves, he wants to play with Bronny and his son, you're done. You're done. Dead in the water. But the fact that John Wall has barely played a memorable week of basketball in forever, I mean, that should worry you. How is this fact real? How is it real? Look, Westbrook with his athleticism, even he's deteriorating athleticism, and add on his IQ, especially his emotional IQ, that's still more valuable than Wall possibly being a better fit, but really prone to injury. Okay, and there is no real sample size of this guy playing basketball, like real sample size. Even if you think the Wall deal is worth it, right? They're not in a position. They're not one Westbrook, John Wall trade away from contending for a championship. They're so far away from that. Okay, and they're not going to lose their future because of that. Okay, the Lakers, They want to make this trade. They have their eyes locked in on it, but they're not pulling the trigger. Okay, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe right now.